everyone. This is going to be a bit of a shorter video than what I've done before. This is my tracking for the German election, which is scheduled to take place in September next year, but due to things going on with the government and votes of no confidence in this and that, the election might potentially be as soon as March. So I thought I'd get this up and moving in the early days of my channel. So effectively what I've got here is I have got the raw vote percentage. This also is counting for my October prediction. So the polls all aggregated do show that the CDU, CSU, the generally center-right parties in Germany will have a 7.3% swing towards them. It's technically two parties, but they operate as one. But let's look at the governing coalition. The Social Democrats only polling at nearly 16%, which is, losing nearly 10% from the last election. The Greens there polling at just over 10%, they're having a swing against them. Still lots of time to turn that around. They could have a net gain if they get that campaign moving. Die Linke, which is the left, has been completely almost wiped out by a new party called Bundessaare-Wagenknecht. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. She's polling at about 8%. If you don't know her, she's sort of economically left-wing, socially right-wing. So new party there. Uh, I cannot pronounce this name. They're essentially a party representing a Danish minority in northern Germany. The Free Democrats, which are part of the governing coalition, ones causing all the dramas around vote of no confidence, they are not even getting the 5%, and Alternative for Deutschland at about 18%. So just to remind you, when it comes to seats, you need 5% of a vote to get seats in the parliament. So that means the Free Democrats will fall out of parliament, means the left will fall out of parliament. They'll pretty much be taken over by Bundesrat Wagenknecht unless something changes quickly. Uh, and then this party here, the sort of the Danish minority, was never really going to get to 5%. So then here the seat aggregation, so I'm just calculating proportionally amongst parties that did get above 5%, and I'll be tracking raw vote totals and seats in parliament. And then here you go, here's parliament, so you'll be Bundesrat Wagenknecht, along with Greens, along with Social Democrats, along with the union parties and Alternative for Deutschland. I'm measuring from sort of left to right across the political spectrum. This isn't meant to represent coalitions. So the most popular coalition, the one that I think is acceptable to the most people, would be the Union and Social Democratic parties, with of course a Union in charge being the largest party. 416 seats, pretty firm majority. Union plus Alternative for Deutschland would in theory get a lot of seats. I actually think a lot of Union MPs would not vote for this. They wouldn't want to go in an area that many of them view as extreme. So that might actually be precarious. If I was in the Union Party and I was just trying to get into government, I would probably ally with Social Democrats, just make things easier, I suppose. If we're looking at a generally sort of left-wingish alliance, Social Democrat, Greens, and Van Gunknet, that would get to 302, which is not enough to form a majority. We see here doesn't get to sort of an imaginary line in the middle here, but a good campaign, potentially that could happen. We could see a general left-wing alliance, and it's effectively the current government take away the center-right Free Democrats and put in the left-wing Bundesrat Wagenknecht. Yeah, so thank you.